Thank you for listening to Stories at Pink Meow Meow Audio. Hope you enjoy the story. After the car accident, I was in a coma. When I woke up, the first person I saw was my ex-boyfriend. He was wearing a white-blue shirt, his face cold, and was quietly instructing the nurse about something. Seeing me awake, he immediately approached. He bent down and gently stroked my hair, but when he opened his mouth to speak, he gritted his teeth. "Hyungu, you're so good. I told you to take good care of yourself, but you took care of yourself so well that you put yourself on my operating table." The moment I opened my eyes, I heard whispering in my ears. Even though they deliberately lowered their voices, I still felt a bit okay. I was about to speak when the whispering stopped. Then came the sound of hurried footsteps. A figure gradually appeared before my eyes. The figure bent down and gently brushed away the strands of hair stuck to my cheek. "How does it feel? Feeling better? Does your leg hurt? What about the hand? Recognize anyone?" I couldn't hear the next few sentences clearly, only saw his lips moving. The lips I had kissed so many times before. His name is Thuok Teng Chin, my ex-boyfriend. I don't know when the nurse left the room. I came back to my senses, just in time to hear the last few sentences of Thuok Teng Chin. Maybe because I didn't answer for a long time, he almost gritted his teeth and said, "Say it." "Hume, you are very good. When we broke up, he told me to take good care of myself. As a result, I was so diligent that I put myself on your operating table? My nose is burning. Try to purse your lips. Don't scold me anymore. My hand hurts so much." Hearing me say that, he immediately fell silent and gently touched my face. His voice softened. His hand was broken. "It's okay. Rest and you'll be fine." He glanced at his watch. He had surgery to go to. "You sleep a little longer. I've hired a caretaker. They'll be here soon. Tell them if you need anything. Understand?" "Yeah." Thuok Teng Chin smiled with satisfaction, his fingertips gently poking my cheek. "Good boy. Go to sleep." As soon as Thuok Teng Chin left, I couldn't help but close my eyes immediately. You really understand me too well. I am really sleepy. It's been a long time since I've seen Thuok Teng Chin. The last time we saw each other was graduation year. Of course, I dreamed about him many times. In the dream is when we broke up. He stuffed a card into my hand and said, "Siangu, don't be shy. The sky is high for the birds to fly. The sea is wide for the fish to swim." Shuo King Ching and I started dating in our senior year of college. At that time, almost no one believed in our relationship. Everyone told him, "Siangu is definitely with you for money, don't be fooled." They even said it right in front of me. I just smiled and didn't refute it, because they were right. When I grew up, I knew that many families would joke harmlessly with their children. For example, my mother would say that she picked me up from a trash can. Adults usually said that just for fun, but when my grandmother told me that, it was true. I was thrown into the trash by my biological parents. My grandmother brought me home while collecting scrap metal. The two of us relied on each other, having a hard time getting by, yet she still tried her best to support me through college. During college, I studied and worked, saved every penny to send a little to grandma. The life of the two grandmother and grandchild gradually got better. I heard the poem and thought that as long as I kept trying, I could make her life happier. Until one evening, I received a call from the hospital in my hometown. "Are you a relative of Mr. Hong Vaneng? She fell and is in the emergency room. Can you come home now?" At that time, I felt like the sky was falling down. I couldn't remember how I booked the ticket. I only knew that I had staggered all night running to the hospital. I only remember when I arrived, my father was lying on a stretcher. His hair was white. His fingers were skinny. His face was full of wrinkles. His body was covered with machines that I couldn't name. She didn't leave me, but she couldn't stand up anymore and could barely take care of herself. She was an illiterate old woman who had never had much money in her life, but was extremely resilient. She often told me that if you want something, you have to use your labor and brain to get it. You can't ask others for it. If you ask someone, you will be at a disadvantage and have to live by their face. That's why, after knowing she was paralyzed on one side, she couldn't accept it for a long time. She needs someone to take care of her, but I don't have the time. I hired 100 people, but their monthly salary was beyond my means. Just when I was confused, Tuak Tengching appeared. I don't know how he met me, nor do I understand why he likes me. I just knew one day he stopped me on the street after school, introduced himself as a guy. Personal information is presented clearly, concisely, almost printed as a CV and given to me. I asked, bewildered, "Why are you telling me this?" "Oh, well," he was very naive, blushing and scratching his head. "Can you be my girlfriend? I like you so much." "I don't have time to date. I still have to earn money to make him give up." I blurted out, "Okay, but you transfer me 100,000 first to see how sincere I am." After saying that, I turned around and left. I thought he would think I was crazy and would never come looking for me again. Unexpectedly, I had only taken a few steps when he chased after me. Hey. If you want me to transfer money, you should at least give it to Mr. Wet. Otherwise, how can I transfer it? He's really crazy. To get my WeChat, he said that. I took out my phone and scanned the code to add friend. "Okay, I have to go to work. Don't bother me anymore." He did not reply, bowed his head, and pressed something on the phone screen. Soon my phone vibrated. It was a transfer notification. "I don't know whether to be shocked that you actually have 100,000 or shocked that you actually transferred me another 100,000. I really need the money, but I also know that I can't accept this amount of money." I hold the phone as if I were holding a hot potato. My mind is blank, and I can't think of anything. Tuak Tanching is extremely happy. Waving the phone, is this considered sincere enough? Now it's my turn to be confused and flustered. I dare not touch the screen. "Lini, I really don't want your love." Tuak Tengchen's eyes are very beautiful. He blinks, his eyelashes also fluttering slightly. "It's okay. I really want to give it to you." I lower my head to look at the phone, my heart in turmoil. I've never seen so much money in my life. That amount of money is enough for me to manage for a long, long time. I can't bear to return it, but if I really accept this amount of money, what kind of person would I become? Tuak Tengching doesn't care about that large sum of money. Just lightly, gently urged, "You accepted. Can you not work overtime today? Let's talk for a bit." Talk? What's there to talk about? The amount of money he gently transferred, I probably didn't know how long I had to tutor, how many times I had to hand out flyers, how many overtime shifts I had to work to get it. Just thinking about it made me realize that we didn't have anything in common. But he talked very well. He didn't mention the differences between us, but only the things we had in common. For example, we both studied at this school. He told funny stories about his classmates, complained about the sometimes delicious and sometimes bad cafeteria, talked about a certain professor who spoke as accurately as a radio announcer. Finally, he even said I should come watch him play basketball. He was really good at it. I had let my guard down and let him lead me through these light-hearted stories. He didn't mention money anymore, nor did he mention love. As if the 100,000 was only exchanged for less than an hour of talking. I didn't know whether to call him a rich person or a spendthrift. Looking at his figure leaving, my heart suddenly felt sad. Tengching... I don't know what I was thinking at that moment. I just know that I called him back. He turned his head. "What's wrong? Do you still want me to be your girlfriend?" His eyes lit up. He ran back, his voice full of excitement. "Really? Are you serious? Are you really agreeing?" I was burned by the light in his eyes and turned my head away. "If you still need it, I agree." His joy was unmistakable. "I need you to hold on. So can I hold your hand?" he said as he held out his hand. That hand is white. In the sunlight, the blue veins on the back of the hand were clearly visible. Long, slender fingers, neat nails, very suitable for holding a pen to write. Of course, also very suitable for holding hands. I did not resist, slowly reached out and grabbed it. He immediately squeezed my hand. Can I kiss you? I just kissed on the cheek. This guy is a scoundrel. I am not as shameless as he is, so I gently refused. I don't let you kiss me if I haven't washed my face. His eyes stopped on my face, and after a moment, his shoulders dropped, full of regret. So next time I wash my face, can I kiss you? Yeah. He happily took my hand and pulled me forward. Can I kiss you? Shut up. All right. The next time I woke up, it was because of the pain. After the anesthesia wore off, the pain gradually spread throughout the body. At first, I was sleeping soundly, but the pain gradually made consciousness return. Yuk Thangtring is sleeping on the extra bed. He was lying on his side, probably off work, wearing only a loose shirt, the collar and cuffs unbuttoned. He was very tall, lying on the bed looking overwhelmingly large. The autumn noon sunlight was very bright, shining on him, making his whole person strangely gentle. I can't help but remember the moment after the surgery I opened my eyes and saw him. He frowned and scolded, his voice not gentle at all, but I saw tears in his eyes. I turned away, intending to move a little, just lifted my hand a little, heard his voice ringing, "Lie still." He sat up, hands on his neck and shoulders, tilting his head back a bit to reveal the beautiful lines of his neck. Looks like he's not fully awake yet. Your leg is broken too. Don't move around. He sat cross-legged on the bed, one hand supporting his chin, eyes half closed, half open, looking at me. Do you still recognize me? Of course I do, I replied. Thuk Sangtring. Did I wake you up? Or not? He still stared at me like that, his eyes never leaving my face. Until now, I have never dared to let him look at me like that. At first, it was because of guilt, then because of shame, then gradually because of guilt, and now it's because of unfamiliarity when meeting again after so many years apart. I looked down, avoiding his eyes. Don't look at me anymore. Thuk Thangtring did not bother to listen. Instead, he let out a soft laugh. Hunkla, you haven't changed at all. You still only know how to make things difficult for me. He walked to my bedside, but glanced at the medical equipment. Hungry? I feel a little not hungry. Thuk Thangtring raised his eyebrows. Including the surgery, I haven't eaten anything for almost 2 days, relying on IV fluids. Logically speaking, you should be hungry. I'm fine. Hungry? So I go buy food. He rolled up his sleeves. Wait here for me for 10 minutes, okay? I don't know what to say. Right now, I can't even move my arms or legs, let alone 10 minutes. Even if it took 10 times 10 minutes, I could only lie down and wait. Thuk Thangtring returned very quickly. I guess it was less than 10 minutes. He put some food on the table, but the only thing left for me was a bowl of millet porridge. Why are you looking at me like that? I have been fasting for so long. Now I can only eat this. I actually only had stitches on my left arm and leg. My right arm was fine. But seeing him holding a bowl of porridge and looking like he was about to feed me, even if I was fine, I had to be fine. The millet porridge had no taste, and he didn't even add any sugar. I was indifferently sucking the porridge while secretly glancing at the plastic box containing the dumplings. That dumpling must be delicious. Thuk Thangtring scooped another spoonful of porridge and fed it to my mouth, helping me along as he worked. Yes, it's better than millet porridge. You really have a keen eye. I pretended to ignore the sarcastic tone and tried to negotiate. Was it not okay to just bite a small corner? Bitten in a few days. Open your mouth. Have another spoonful. Millet porridge is so bland, it's sickening. I took another spoonful and turned my head away. After finishing eating, Thuk Thangtring had no intention of leaving. I immediately took the initiative to start a conversation. Are you a doctor now? Yes. He threw the trash in the bin and used a wet towel to wipe his hands. Isn't this obvious?
Otherwise, who do you think will operate on you? Tuk Thangtring sat up straight and carefully observed my face. The face is also quite good. Then it's time to settle the score. I remembered the money I had taken from him and obediently nodded. I have to count. I owe you so much. First, I've been in the hospital for 2 days, and not even a bird has come to visit me. You haven't made any friends in 2 years outside. Second, you said you wanted to break up before. Okay, I'll let you go, but did you promise me you'd take good care of yourself? Tuk Thangtring took a deep breath. Do you know when I operated on you, my hands and feet were cold? You threatened me like that. Don't you see what you did wrong? What he said was right. I couldn't refute, could only bow my head and wait for him to continue. Okay, I also want to know how hopeless I am. As a result, he remained silent. The hospital room was silent for a long time before I raised my head. Is it over? Tuk Thangtring hesitantly nodded. Yeah, it's over. So, what about money? What money? Oh, the money you gave me and the hospital bill this time, you're probably paying for me too, right? Seeing his face gradually darken, my voice gradually became smaller. Tuk Thangtring was so angry that he burst out laughing. I'm talking seriously. What nonsense are you talking about? Changing the subject is not a way to avoid responsibility. I quickly coaxed him. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Now I understand. Tuk Thangtring, ruler, is still the same as before. Money can be put off, but health cannot be left behind. In his eyes, I got into a car accident and had to be hospitalized because I didn't know how to take care of myself. 2 years of hanging out without a single friend is a sign of mental instability. Perhaps this is the way of thinking of people who have never lacked money. As for me, I have always lived in poverty, so when it comes to settling accounts, my first reflex is money. At first, I was secretly pleased, thinking that no matter how much he said I owed, I could pay it back because I had money now. But the only thing I care about is why you don't know how to take care of yourself. Being in the hospital was a bit boring, so Tuk Thangtring brought me a small radio and tuned me to audio stories every day. When I want to sleep, I just press a button on the machine to turn it off. Easy to operate and super convenient to use with one hand. My arms and legs were covered in blood when the accident happened, as if I was about to die. It's just broken. Once reconnected, there was no big deal. I was in hospital for more than a week before being discharged. Like I said, I am very rich now because I have my own shop now. Whether big or small, consider yourself the boss. Very busy. Tuk Thangtring remembered and exclaimed, Great! He patted my head. That's terrible. Owner Hunka. Even though he said that, before leaving, Tuk Thangtring still brought me a bunch of things from the supermarket downstairs. Rice, noodles, cooking oil, eggs, meat, vegetables, fruits, snacks, everything. Eat and drink properly, he said. Eat and drink properly. Tuk Thangtring, ruler, always says so. In college, we often ate together in the cafeteria, which our friends called the most beautiful scene in the school. No one thought Tuk Thangtring and I would become a couple. Not for any big reason, but because the difference is too big. His father does electric business, quite a large scale. Mom is a professor at the university next door, both talented and beautiful. His life is truly one of never being poor. As for me, in those words, there is never poverty. Only the word poverty is duplicated. Every time I go out to eat, I choose cheap food, as long as it fills me up.
As for Duak Dang Chin, he always orders a bunch of different dishes and then puts on a face like he can't finish it but doesn't want to waste it, calmly putting meat in my bowl. He added, "Eat more," then, as if afraid I would return the favor, quickly covered his bowl. I'm not stupid enough to not know that you deliberately called me rich. Being poor is hard to hide. and being rich is the same. Not long after, a classmate told Twak Ang Chin, "Be careful of being targeted by fire. I heard that her family is very poor. She must be after your money." Twak Tung Chin immediately retorted, "No way! She's not that kind of person. I was the one who pursued her, and at first she didn't even pay attention to me. Then she must have pretended to ignore me to lure you into a trap. Do you think you've ever spent money on her?" Yes, but don't be like that anymore. What is there to doubt?" At that time, I was standing a few steps behind them, hiding behind the red-leafed plum tree. I thought to myself, it's best that Thuak Tan Chin wakes up and understands that I'm exactly that kind of person. That way you will stay away from me. I can also work more in peace, no longer feeling guilty towards you. But that kind of thing, you're the type of person you never know what's going on in his head. He shrugged. Assuming what you said was true, then why doesn't she like other people's love, only mine? In school, I'm not the only one with money, so that proves that in her heart, I'm still special. The friend looked at him as if he were a stubborn fool. Have you ever thought that it's because other people don't give her a chance? But if you alone give her a chance, won't she be even more unable to leave you? The other friend was stunned, silent for a few seconds, then raised his hand to make a phone call. Okay, out of words. After listening to the whole story, my head was almost numb. Absolutely can't find any logical errors. He and his friend went far away. I couldn't help but slightly curl the corners of my lips. So this is how fun it feels to be protected by someone else. I think I should give him a little reward. But I have nothing good to give. So give him a kiss. Anyway, if you love each other, sooner or later you have to kiss. I took out my phone and sent him a text message. "Would you like to have lunch with me?" He replied very quickly. "Okay. Eat grilled meat mixed rice at Canteen 3. Add more meat." Okay. While eating, I kept secretly looking at him. He took the chicken thigh, shredded the meat, and put it in my bowl. Actually, there's enough meat in the mixed rice. I don't understand what you think about my portion size, that you ordered a bowl of grilled meat mixed rice bigger than my face and even added meat, but you were still afraid I wouldn't be full. I kept thinking about kissing, so I didn't stop him. Instead, I stared at his lips. At that time, I became a lecher, thinking wildly, why are his lips more beautiful than a girl's? Soft pink, like a flower petal just blooming. After finishing eating and leaving the cafeteria, I asked him, "Do you want some candy?" "1 pill is fine," he said. Then he took one from my hand. I ate one too. We were talking on the way back to the dormitory. I've heard that, even though it's the same thing, each person who eats it has a slightly different taste. I don't know what I'm talking about. For example, this candy, even though it's grape-flavored, the feeling when you eat it and I eat it won't be the same. You seem really interested. Sounds weird. Who was the first person to discover that? If it's the same thing, how do you know how other people feel when they eat it? Having said this, he suddenly stopped. Little brother. He leaned down and quickly touched my lips, then tilted his head, his eyes curved like a small bridge, like a child who had just achieved his goal. "I saw you wanted to kiss me just now, but you were shy, so I didn't expose you. You acted very calm, but I didn't say anything. My ears were as red as tomatoes. Thanks to the ruler, I not only finished college, but also hired someone to take care of my grandmother and continued my studies for a master's degree. It's true that I've always been his sweetheart. I never denied it. Meanwhile, rumors have never stopped that I am greedy for money and vanity. I consoled myself, considering it as borrowing from him, I will pay it back later. But the effect is very limited. It is very difficult for people to stay calm in the face of overwhelming malice. I was under a lot of mental pressure, had an unstable temperament, and even wanted to break up many times. The first time I said goodbye, Thuok Dang Chin did not agree. You ask me, what did I do wrong? If I apologize and fix it, how can I say what's wrong with you? It was my tattered self-esteem that suddenly rebelled. It was the untimely rise of shame. If anything goes wrong, it's all my fault. I couldn't say anything, so I finally gave up. Actually, I came to you just because of your love. Don't like me anymore. I'm not worthy. Sorry, just consider that money as a loan. I will slowly pay it back later. He didn't care about the money, just stubbornly asked, so that means I didn't do anything wrong, right? Thuok Dang Chin was probably triggered by what I said. He sneered twice. Okay, then let's break up. Having said that, he turned and walked away without hesitation. That night, I covered myself with the blanket and cried for a long time. Cried until I had difficulty breathing. My nose was stuffy. My mind was full of images of him treating me well. I regretted and blamed myself for breaking up, felt like a failure, always making the wrong choice. I didn't expect that Thuok Dang Chin would come looking for me the next day. As usual, he brought soy milk in small buns, waving at me. I came closer. What are you doing? Bring me breakfast. You don't need to bring me breakfast anymore. Thuok Dang Chin stuffed the glass of soy milk in my hand and told me to drink it while it was still hot. You know we're breaking up, right? That's why he came. He lifted a dumpling up and brought it close to my mouth, his voice both coaxing and teasing. I mean, it's been a day since we broke up. Can we make up now? So we got back together, then broke up, and got back together. Every time we broke up, the next day he came to me exactly the same way, asking if we could get back together. And I always said tear, always fight, over and over again. Sunny morning, rainy afternoon. But in his eyes, it was probably just playing with a temperamental child. Children's moods are like the weather. Sometimes sunny and warm, sometimes rainy and thunderous. If it were anyone else, they would have gotten angry long ago. But the ruler has infinite patience. He said, if you don't feel safe, don't trust me, if you need to confirm over and over again that I'm still with you, then it's okay. For me, it's okay if you make a little mess. He shrugged, as if he were happy about it. Who said I like you? She passed away the year I graduated from graduate school. I have no more ties here. I started to get serious, determined to break up. I hate it when people always say, I'm with you for your money. I want to go somewhere else to start a career. I want to build my own career. I want to stand squarely next to you. That was the first time Thuok Dang Chin got angry with me. I don't understand. If I stay here, will I not be able to have my own career? Moreover, if we are together, we can overcome difficulties together and encourage each other. Isn't that much better than me being alone? He tried to rack his brain for more reasons to keep me, but I still wouldn't budge. I just want to leave this place, go out and fight on my own, and then return to Huang. I carried anger with me, determined to make all those who had looked down on me exclaim, "You two are a perfect match. I don't want to bow my head to you because of money anymore." That afternoon, we sat on a bench in the park for a long time, sitting close together but not saying a word. As the sun set, the wind began to pick up. Thuok Dang Chin closed his eyes, as if making up his mind, then stood up. The last time he looked at me, "Little brother, I'm only giving in this last time for you. You can go wherever you want. I'll give you 2 years. You can go where you want, do what you want." I don't know why, but tears suddenly flowed uncontrollably. Thuok Dang Chin hugged me. "Don't cry anymore.
My girlfriend left me and I still haven't cried. I thought I understood you, but I just couldn't bear to let you leave me. I'm so bad. So selfish."
He pulled a card out of his backpack and stuffed it into my hand. "This is my spending money. You keep it for yourself," I pushed back. "You don't need to take it. Don't refuse. When you take my card, you can't look at other people when you go out. You can't like other people. Understand? You always have countless reasons that make it impossible for me to refuse what you do." He let go of my hand, took a step back, and looked at me with an incomparably gentle gaze. "Little brother, don't be self-conscious. The sky is high, birds fly far, the sea is vast, fish swim freely. You have to know how to take care of yourself. I will be here waiting for you to come back. When I'm not dead yet, you can't leave me anymore." When I earned my first million in my life, I thought I would send all that money to Tuok Thang Trin. I used to spend my feelings on you, so it's natural that you would spend my feelings on me, right? Later, when my career became more and more prosperous, I also earned more and more money. I thought I should spend time taking care of myself and then appear radiantly in front of you. Who would have thought that such a beautiful encounter would not happen? I was put on your operating table again, in the worst and most disheveled state of his life, but also considered it a good thing. Such an unexpected encounter saves me from hesitation and helps me to stop having to step forward and then step back 1,000 times. For the rest of my life, I don't want to leave you again. Going south, passing through 2 provinces, is where I started my journey to establish my career. I opened a few small grocery stores there, made some money, and then ran to Shanghai. There I met a noble man, followed him to invest a little. Luck was very good, earned nearly 20 times profit. Maybe God saw that my first half of life was too hard, so everything in the past 2 years has been smooth sailing. Now he and I both have our own careers. The second time I went to the hospital for a checkup, Tuok Thang Trin finally found time to rest and agreed to have dinner with me. The restaurant is right next to the hospital. I clearly invited him, but he booked the table, drove the car, and even poured the tea, peeled the skin, and served the food. I kept secretly watching his face, trying to see his true mood through his expression. Of course, nothing happened. He quickly noticed my gaze, and as he picked up a piece of rib and put it in my bowl, he said, "Don't look at me anymore, focus on eating." I remember when he left, he told me he would wait for me to come back. Now I'm back, but I don't know if you still want to continue a relationship that is not pure, nor can it be considered innocent. I was a little nervous, so I called him softly and cleared my throat. I want to tell you something. Are you smiling seriously? Say it." I bit my lip because she didn't have a boyfriend outside. Tuok Thang Trin initially had no special reaction. I thought he didn't care about me anymore, so I didn't dare say anything more. "So, what are you trying to say?" Tuok Thang Trin's voice did not clearly show whether he was happy or sad, as if he was listening to someone else's story. I tapped the bowl lightly with my chopsticks. "Nothing." He nodded. "Okay, so eat quickly. I will take you home after eating." So annoying. It's hard to have a chance to be alone together. So is it really just eating rice? Do you have another girlfriend now? I may have been spoiled by you. Obviously, he wasn't indifferent. He still listened to me and answered. It was just that I felt hurt because I didn't get the answer I wanted. He took me home. The car drove into the apartment complex. I regained my composure and tried again. "Do you want to stop by my supermarket?" Afraid he would refuse, I quickly added, "Just looking, I won't take up much of your time." There were several employees I hired in the supermarket. When they saw us coming in, they greeted us. Tuok Thang Trin looked straight ahead, following me through each row of shelves, and then entered the innermost room.
The door closes, completely soundproofing from the outside. At this moment, Tuok Thang Trin said, "Wow, so impressive." The CEO's tone was playful, with a relaxed smile on his face. Although I blushed a little when he said that, I really like the way he looks. This is the barometer I am familiar with. I reserved this room for myself. You can call it an office. Anyway, there is a small bed, a table, and a computer. At the head of the bed was a large basket filled with all sorts of snacks and drinks. I let Tuok Thang Trin sit down on the wide swivel chair while I bent down to rummage through the basket, pulled out a few items, and placed a pile in front of him. "You eat these." I glanced at him, my voice small and uncertain. "These are all things you liked before. I don't know if you still like them now." Tuok Thang Trin waved his hand. He didn't eat these things anymore. I lowered my eyes. "Is it that you don't like it anymore, or is it because I gave it to you that you don't want to accept it?" His eyes were full of helplessness. "Huang Ka, we just finished eating and I can't eat anymore." Tuok Thang Trin glanced around the room. His voice calmly rang out, "Why choose supermarket business?" If it were a few years ago, I certainly wouldn't have dared to answer this question. People often find it difficult to open their mouths when they are in difficult situations. But once you overcome it and achieve success, the difficulties of the past are no longer something to hide. Of all the people, the one I least wanted to know about my hardship was Tuok Thang Trin. Even though I know you probably saw through everything long ago, you just wanted to keep some dignity for me, so you never mentioned it. After going through so many storms, I am no longer afraid to talk about the past, because I used to not eat enough. Sometimes I'm full, but I never get to eat exactly what I want. During my school years, the happiest time was the time I spent with you. He's like on radar, always knowing what I want. At that time, I was very hungry. I wanted everything. The snack road that others eat until they're sick of smells delicious to me. But it's so expensive. Why is it so expensive? I know I don't have enough money, so I can only endure. Later, I thought that if I had my own supermarket, then I would be able to eat whatever I wanted in the future. Tuok Thang Trin didn't say anything, just lowered his eyes, not knowing what he was thinking. I pursed my lips and softly reminded, "If you want to eat with me, then that's fine too." He smiled slightly, not sure if it was real or fake. "So, anyone can eat with me. Other people have to pay for their food, but you do not need it." "You don't need it, why don't you?" I was a little depressed. I had clearly expressed it, but Tuok Thang Trin kept making things difficult for me. Didn't he know how hard it was for me to say such cynical words? I wrung my hands in frustration, a little angry, and my voice was a little higher than usual, saying, "No need. If you don't like it, then forget about it." Tuok Thang Trin sat in silence for a moment, then suddenly used 2 fingers to pinch my cheeks, tilted his head, and shouted, "I didn't say I didn't like it. You petty thing abandoned me for so long. Can't you be a little angry?" During the entire rehabilitation process, Tuok Thang Trin was always by my side. He was sometimes close, sometimes distant. Sometimes he treated me very well, sometimes he was cold and indifferent. When talking, he was sometimes gentle and indulgent, sometimes he was indifferent and distant. I couldn't explain that feeling clearly. I just felt that there was a constant awkwardness between us. He probably still angry with me. On the contrary, I gradually found the familiar feeling of the past, knowing that even if he had a cold face, he wouldn't last more than 3 minutes. So I stuck to him, pretending to complain. My arms and legs ached, so he could comfort me. The first place I started my business was S Province. Although I decided to move back here, there was already someone there taking care of the business for a long time. Still, I can't completely abandon everything. Just when Tuok Thang Trin had to go to Sok Province to practice, I thought I would follow him there. The trip was organized by the hospital, and food and accommodation were all arranged properly. During the day, he participates in learning exchanges, and in the evening, he is free. I arranged for him to stay in my apartment. Tugtung Singh sat on the sofa. In front of him was an orange soda. He asked, "Is the supermarket downstairs yours too?" "How do you know?" "The decoration style is the same? How many supermarkets do you have?" I thought for a moment. In this province, there are 2 big supermarkets, 8 small supermarkets, and the places I used to live usually rent the shops downstairs to open supermarkets. Tugtung Singh stirred the can of water with a straw, his voice very soft. "You must have a hard time, right?" "Actually, I can answer you that it's okay. Luckily, I met a noble person, so it's not that hard. I can also say that, of course it's hard. Even if I win, I only sleep 3 hours a day and I'm exhausted. Both sentences are true, it's just that I choose to tell it. But I don't say anything. I'm like a child who falls down. When no one cares, I get up by myself, blow lightly on my scratched palm, and continue walking. As long as someone asks, 'Oh, why did you fall? Does it hurt?' Tears naturally flowed out, and when the pain doubled, I grimaced and cried. Since Tugtung Singh had asked, he probably wouldn't mind if I cried a little. I hugged him tightly, regardless of whether he agreed or not, and just wiped my tears on his expensive shirt. Tugtung Singh patted my back gently, his voice very gentle. "I told you a long time ago, you should stay by my side." I sniffed and rubbed my nose against his neck. "Don't blame me anymore. Why do you keep criticizing me lately?" He hugged me, gently shaking me. "Don't know anything. I've been very gentle with you." "Be more gentle." After a long while, he sighed, as if there was no way out with me. It's like getting the elephant out of your hand and wanting the ivory. I am starting to get confused about our current relationship. I don't know if we can consider it as peace yet. Even though we hugged and kissed, he never officially said whether I could continue to consider myself his girlfriend or not. We were only in S province for a week, then he immediately returned to his busy work. I have more free time, so I cook lunch and bring it to you. The first few times I brought lunch, some colleagues didn't even bother to ask, "Wow, who is this? Aren't you going to introduce yourself to us?" After that, every time I came, everyone tacitly called me sister-in-law. I really like that way of addressing people, and Tugtung Singh has never objected. The last day of October in the fall is my birthday. Today is the day my grandmother found me. I bought the cake myself, but Tugtung Singh promised to give me fruit. I was excited from early morning, guessing back and forth to see what he would give me. Before, when we were still together, to avoid me thinking too much, he usually didn't give me anything too expensive. Just very normal gifts like lipstick or a small handbag, things that everyone gives. One year, he even gave me a stack of wish-granting coupons that he made himself. Buy a thick stack of cards and write down in colored pen each of the things you can do for me. If you want me to do anything, just take out the card and exchange it. No cards match. From small things like pouring water for me, saving my seat for self-study, to bigger things like kissing me and going on a trip together. That was my favorite birthday present. I feel that Tugtung Singh is my Doraemon. He can help me fulfill all my wishes and never criticizes me for being greedy. I didn't need to think about anything. I just knew that I would definitely like the gift he gave me. Tugtung Singh arrived at dusk, the sun was about to set, the wind outside the window blew strongly, causing the leaves to fall. He had changed out of his formal shirt into a soft fabric hoodie and shoes, looking very comfortable as if he were returning home. He took out the spare key and opened the door. "I forced you to take that key. At that time, my leg was not yet healed. I begged, remembering you slipped and fell at home, needing you urgently. What should I do? I don't know why in the past 2 years I have not learned anything interesting, only learned how to deceive others just like you did before." When he came in, I was carrying food to the living room. "Just in time for dinner. You like spicy crab, right?" I followed the recipe. It was delicious for sure. Tugtung Singh sat down at the table but did not pick up his chopsticks yet. "Shouldn't you make a wish first?" "Oh, right! Birthdays require a wish first." Tugtung Singh certainly doesn't know that for the past 2 years, my birthday wish has always been the same. No matter how busy I am, I never miss my birthday, because I always feel that birthday wishes come true the most. Every year, I repeat a small wish. I wish that Tugtung Singh would not like other people. It was a slightly selfish, slightly malicious wish, and I was determined never to let him know it. "Tugtung Thurg Tug, hurry up and make a wish, but I am not in a hurry yet. First, I'll ask you, if I make a wish, will you help me make it true?" Tukthung Singh silently looked at me for a while, his index finger tapping on the table. Honey, I'm not a turtle in a wishing well, but is this wish easy for me to make true? I was impatient, unconsciously stood up, but the person towards him, he should have said yes right. Seeing that he still did not answer, I rummaged in my pocket and took out an old faded card. It was a wish exchange coupon he made himself for me years ago. Until the day we parted, I still couldn't bear to use it. Can I use this universal ticket to exchange this? Tukthung Singh took the card, stroking it with his fingers. You still have it? I can't bear to use it. Actually, I still feel regretful until now. I should have kept it in an iron box, buried it in the ground, and hidden it well. Tukthung Singh put the card in his pocket and let out a breath. Okay, then we each take a step back. Tell me your wish. I tried to hold back my blush, pretending to be calm. We've hugged and I've kissed you. Can you be my girlfriend again? Tukthung Singh almost did not hesitate, immediately replied, no. I just made a small sound, lowered my eyes sadly, not knowing what to say. Can't even exchange the universal ticket? In my heart, I felt suffocated. A sadness rolled like a big wave. The atmosphere suddenly became heavy. I was in a state of despair, not knowing what to do. Just then, Tukthung Singh spoke again. He said, Hernka, I'm almost 30. You've wasted all those years of my life. What do you still want to be my girlfriend for? He grabbed my collar and pulled me closer. The distance between us was almost close. His eyes locked on me, word by word. You should be the one proposing to me. Propose marriage. My head felt like someone had hit me with a hammer. I was stunned for half a minute before I could stammer out an answer. Yes, that's right, must propose. I also fumbled around and realized I didn't have a ring. I looked at him flustered. Tukthung Singh sat back in his chair, pushing the box of fruit he brought in front of me. He looked very indifferent, as if he didn't care much. No ring for me? I wonder if this gift will solve your urgent problem. I stared at the delicate little box, suddenly understanding something. Tukthung Singh leisurely said, Why don't you open it and take a look? Are you implying that I used the ring you gave me to propose to you? Then who proposed to whom in the end? I thought, dreamily holding my breath as I opened the box. Sure enough, inside was a pair of rings. Gold ring? My mind instantly turned into a pile of mush. Does anyone propose with a gold ring? I, like a machine, took out the men's ring to say something. Before he could finish speaking, Tukthung Singh naturally stretched out his hand. Okay, I agree. In my heart, the missing sentence was automatically completed. He agreed to marry me. After such a noisy time, the table full of delicious food was almost cold, but Tukthung Singh still did not give up. He took the remaining ring and put it on my finger, then held my fingertip and bowed his head to kiss it lightly. He said seriously, We've proposed so you can't leave me again. Even if you die, you have to go to the Shuo family's grave, understand? I felt like I was being a bit too sensitive. He was just talking about the grave. I almost burst into tears, but I tried to hold back. I said softly, Shuo can sing, don't keep it from me anymore. He laughed, I won't keep it from you. You can keep it from me as much as you want. You can't just ignore me. Yeah, I'll only pay attention to you.
Then can I give you all the spicy crab on the table? Thuktung Ching glanced at me and said, No, you idiot. Besides Thuktung Ching felt that up to now he had encountered the biggest difficulty in his life. He liked a girl but didn't know how to pursue her. The 5 brothers in the dormitory volunteered to be his advisors and patted him on the shoulder, saying that sincerity was the only way to win. Just charge forward. So he really charged forward. Without thinking, he blocked her way, introduced himself as a guy, but was so nervous that he stuttered twice. In his head, he had already prepared 2 endings. 1, the other party happily agreed. 2, the other party politely refused. He had never thought that there was a third possibility. Asked for money. The girl's face was cold, showing impatience. Okay, first transfer me 100,000 yuan. To show sincerity, just transfer money? Thuktung Ching was secretly happy in his heart. That easy? Yes, it is that easy. He happily returned to the dormitory. 5 strategists gathered around. How is it? How is it? Tungshan Ruler resisted the cold, his face radiant. Success! Tonight I invite you to eat barbecue. The 5 strategists were silent. A minute later, someone suddenly screamed emotionally. Oh my gosh, that's okay.
Actually, at first, Thuk Cheng was attracted by Youngka's appearance. She is so beautiful that even if she were on a show, she wouldn't be overshadowed. Anyone who sees her would find it hard not to fall in love. But because of family circumstances, many people only dared to stand far away and watch. University is also a small circle. Once in the same circle, there are no secrets to hide. Everyone knows that Huangka has no parents, only a weak old woman in the house. She is a typical poor student with average economic circumstances, not good at communication, a bit cold personality, but extremely resilient and hardworking. Thuk Cheng could not imagine a life of having to work extra every day. Weekdays, work in the evening, weekends and holidays, work all day. He knew he couldn't bear such hardship, but Huangka could calmly say, "Because I need money." She was too proud to let him look down on her, but she was also very straightforward, never making up stories for me to portray myself. 4 years from his 4th year to his master's degree, Thuk Cheng gradually pulled Huangka out of the swamp. He sent her food and clothes, and every day he had to make up 8 excuses in his head just to force her to accept them. He carefully protected her self-esteem, always pretending to be innocent and ignorant. He kissed her eyes, seeing her so scared that her eyelids trembled. "I'll pick her up after work." The Mercedes slowly passed each streetlight, and she was tiredly huddled in the passenger seat, her hair ruffled like a lion cub. Mumble, "Call me when the time comes." Gradually, she learned to smile more, to act coquettishly and ask him to coax her, sometimes even acting so coquettishly that it made him go crazy with joy. She doesn't know how to argue, get angry and just keep silent. Outsiders thought she was angry, but in fact, she didn't know how to argue back. Arguing with him is even more miserable. I can only say short sentences like, "Don't be like that anymore. Don't bother me. Don't say anymore." Thuk Cheng had never met someone like her. Every time they argued, she screamed in her heart, "She was so cute." "How many times have you broken up?" "About 3 or 4 times. Thuk Cheng spent 100 efforts to plant this little flower, poured out all his heart and soul, patiently melted her silence, indifference, and coldness, turned her into a bright person, always smiling and talking, "Tell me to let go, then watch helplessly as she appears next to another man. Don't even dream. All the windows and doors are locked for me. You want to break up? Fine, we can break up, but I'll decide after a few days of breaking up." Thuk Cheng admitted that he had spent all his patience on Huangka in this life, but still could not keep her. What a heartless brat! The year she graduated with her master's degree, she still wanted to break up. Not only break up, but also wanted to go somewhere else alone to start a career. Thuk Cheng almost had a heart attack, but what else could he do? Should I force her to stay by my side? He is willing to treat Huangka like a precious flower, giving her the best sunlight and nutrients. But that doesn't mean she can only be his flower. She can be a bird, singing and flying up to the blue sky, or she can be a fish, swimming freely in the ocean of lost things. She should be herself first, and then be his flower. So he gave her his bank card. She refused to accept. How can I not accept? Reacting extremely quickly, he said to her, "Take it, don't refuse. Once you take my card out, you can't look at other people and you can't like other people. Understand? Add another obligation to her, then she will accept the corresponding benefits." The day she left, the weather was terrible. The heavy rain reminded him of the farewell scenes in movies, as if once they broke up, there was no going back. He panicked, drove to the airport in the rain. They had originally said they wouldn't see each other off, but he still came. She was dragging her suitcase, preparing to enter the terminal lobby. He ran over, and before she could open her mouth, he hugged her tightly. He didn't know what words to use to express the regret in his heart, could only lean on her shoulder, letting tears flow. "You must come back. Must come back." Shanga said, "You will definitely come back. Except for me. Except for me." What did the next sentence, "except for me," mean? She didn't continue, and he couldn't guess. Maybe Huangka will never know that Thuk Cheng once came to the city where she lives. The trip was intentional, but the reunion was completely accidental. He traveled there and accidentally saw her at the door of a restaurant. She was still dressed simply, with her hair tied in a low ponytail, not caring about her image, squatting on the steps, biting into a bun. Thuk Tangching stood quite far away, so he couldn't see clearly if the red filling was brown sugar or red beans. He saw her eating very quickly and muttered to himself, "Is it that delicious, or are you too hungry?" He didn't come to disturb her, just silently followed her. Followed to where she lived. It was quite remote. Luckily, the neighbors around were all very friendly. He stood downstairs, letting the wind blow all night. Finally, the cold was too much to bear, so he smiled and left. After that, he visited a few more times, but because of work, he couldn't stay long. Each time he came and left in a hurry. Of course, she didn't know anything until the next year when she moved house. Thuk Tangching lost contact with her. He had returned to the old streets several times, but did not know that she had gone to Shanghai to seek new opportunities. The events of the past 2 years kept replaying in his mind. Thuk Tangching yawned and stretched, then shouted toward the bathroom, "Little brother, are you done? Come out and warm the bed for me. Have you been feeling better? Have you been feeling better?" Thuk Tangching looked at her, sobering up. He told himself in his heart she was just wearing his shirt, but his mouth urged, "Hurry up and put it on." Waiting for her to get into bed, Thuk Tangching was not satisfied. "Why are you lying so far away?" Huangka said, "I'm afraid you'll do something bad." Thuk Tangching objected, "What's so bad about that?" "This is the truth." Having said that, he crawled over and hugged her tightly. "Don't stop me. Come here and give me a kiss."